to join. No sound. All right, hang on a second. Let me fix the sound. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Hey, K-Town. Uh, oh, okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. Let me go turn a couple devices off. I think the headset keeps connecting and reconnecting to a phone. So, yeah. All right. I am back. I hope that's better. Hey, what's up, Reef Keeper? What's up, Producer Reef? Producer Reef, man, listen, brother, that's a name I haven't heard or seen in a while. I hope you're all right. K Town, see you all the time. AL, around all the time. Davishu, what's up, brother? Exclusive, what's up, man? Hey, Exclusive. I think I saw the tank you're gonna get at the aquatic experience. Dave and I were looking at it, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Falcon Quick, Carlos, Exclusive, Nat King, what's up, Nat? And AL, hey, what's up, man? What's up, what's up, what's up? Eddie Ramos, Jono, Manchester United Football Club 7, aka Ronaldo, what's up, bro? What's up? What up, everybody? No topic tonight. You know what? I don't think I am going to sort of do my streams with topics. I think I like the way it flows with no topic. If we do, if I am gonna have a guest, absolutely we can focus on a topic. But I think what I might do is maybe not put the entire stream up after the stream ends. Maybe what I'll do is, not this stream, but going forward, just maybe, if we have segments that are interesting, just cut those segments out and like put them together like a shortened version. A shortened version. But I think I need better equipment first, so I'm working on it. I am trying to find right now I'm just using the camera from my laptop, from my MacBook Pro. So maybe a camera and maybe like something to, maybe get fancy and do some, something fancy. I'm the tech guy and I have probably the most low tech stream. So, hey, Nat King said I'm able to join today because I didn't go to service. All right. I hope you, all right. All right. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. If anyone wants to jump in, you're happy to. Reef Keeper is asking, first question of the night. Anyone ever had pink cotton candy algae before? I've had it in my frag tank. Never had it before. They say Mexican turbo snails with mow it down. Anything else work on it? When I had, I think when I first started Triton and I didn't have a refugium, I had cotton candy algae. And see, it's hard for me to identify snails. I think I only know the red-banded snails, but urchins, oh my gosh. Urchins totally destroyed it, Phil. Like, mowed the stuff down. The one thing I didn't like about urchins is they also ate my coralline algae, which I know some people don't like them, like coralline algae, and that's cool. And maybe I don't like it on my back glass, but put it in, and it ate it. Just I don't think there were any kind of fancy urchins. They were just light white urchins. So those really took care of it over the course of a couple of weeks. So for me, urchins. Mr. O, what's up? That's DM's Reef. K Town, do you guys use GoPros in order to film and good quality? I what do I have? I have like a I have a Sony, I don't even know, A6000 camera. And that's what I use. I think DC uses a GoPro. If you look at DC Reefer's videos on his Facebook page or on his YouTube channel from Vegas, he used the GoPro. But last weekend at the Aquatic Experience, the guy who runs the Neptune booth, he was filming some stuff with his GoPro, and it actually looked pretty good. So I think the newer GoPros, as you know, it does have the curve lens, the fisheye lens, but I like it. I think it'll film good quality, and I think once, to be honest, I think some of the video he shot, the fact that he didn't have to edit his lights too much. I actually like it, and it's waterproof. I think GoPros come with a waterproof case, so you can probably just get it and just dip it in the tank and shoot underwater video. Reef Keeper, it actually looks pretty good, but it spreads fast. That's the cotton candy algae. Yeah. Dr. Welsh, wow, pretty late for you, Dr. Welsh, but thanks for joining. I know kids love cotton candy. Yeah. I know. Yeah, the cotton candy algae, yep, urchins. Vision Rob Aquatics. There's nothing wrong with being tech savvy. Helps a lot to get live streams going quickly. Yeah, listen, Rob, I'm not trying to get too fancy. I literally saw something called like an Elgato, which has 4 buttons, and then all I'm gonna get is like a camcorder to so instead of this, I'll maybe put it up. Like, this is a very low-tech setup. Like, literally, this is a desk in my living room where I work because I work from home, and I just want to get a camcorder. So when we put this video on YouTube, the quality's a little better. I'm gonna keep the same lights. I already have umbrella. So not too like, I'm not trying to get a green screen, and no, just to make the quality look a little better, not too crazy. Because to be honest, I fell asleep this evening after picked my kids up from school. They had a doctor's appointment. I fell asleep. I got up at 8:30. I was like, man, gotta stream tonight. I went ahead, scheduled it. I think it was something that didn't allow me to get a stream up and running in 10 minutes, the max. Then it would be too much for me. So I'm not going too crazy. Here to fix Reef, DM you. Thanks, O. Took all the racks and bleached them. If it comes back, I'm going to try the urchin bleach. Woo. Oh, yeah, you did say it was your frag tank. Yeah, I think an urchin in the frag tank is, still a good idea, because then, they'll keep all kind of algae down. Yeah, they can keep all kind of algae down. Yeah. DC Reaver had a hard time 2 days ago with the live stream. The quality was there, lots of echo and breaking up. Yeah, I've had that happen before, Rob, and I honestly don't know what I did to fix it. I think sometimes when you have YouTube playing in the background, that causes an echo. And I've also seen it before where right now, tonight, I'm using the headsets. Usually I'm using the Apple AirPods, but I can't find them. But what happens sometimes is it's taking audio from the computer and from the headset. So there is something going on where it's trying to process the stream, and something ends up happening. Tech savvy is just another way to reef. Hey, you know me, tech guy. But I'm going to hit DC up. So if DC is going to If DC is going to, stream going forward, I'll make sure to log on early and get him streaming. Get him streaming. Hero 4 for 235. Yep. Awoken. So Reef Keeper, how is the NEM tank doing? Oh, the lights are off on the NEM tank. This is like, you know what, Phil? I got to do a video on the NEM tank. The NEM tank is doing great. Let me start with context of the overall tank because it is plumbed into the main system. So I think last time I was streaming, I don't remember if it's last week or the week before, we had an awesome talk about, my phosphates were high and nutrients and all that. So I think that a day or two, or maybe the same day of the live stream, I put half a cup of GFO in. My phosphates at the time were 1.3. I tested last night, my phosphates were 0.4. So it came down by almost a full point in a week. And that's just in a filter bag, like in a reactor, because I have a BRS mini reactor and I don't think I had space for it to tumble. So I put it in a media bag and put it in the reactor. So half a cup of GFO brought the phosphate down that much. So roundabout way of answering the question, Phil, the NEM tank, the NEMs look pissed off. One, I think nothing else changed on the tank except the phosphate starts dropping. So the NEMs look really pissed off. No way about it. They look really not cool, not open, not fluffy, not looking good. They don't look good at all. One. Two, to get my nutrients down, I was carbon dosing. So that tank, I don't know if it's because of the flow, has like some really terrible cyanobacteria. The big tank had a little bit of it. It went away, but this tank has cyanobacteria. So once the phosphates are down, I'll start to sort of clean it up. I have an MP10 in the 10-gallon anemone tank. I've upped the flow a little bit, but the anemones are pissed off. But that could be because the phosphate dropped a lot in the last week. So roundabout story, Phil, that's how the NEM tank is doing. Jono, Manchester United, FC7, Ronaldo, Cantona. Want to start pushing coral in my fish-only system. My mag is 1450, calcium is 380, and KH is 12. Keep it at them levels. How much do I dose in my 4-foot, 500-liter system? Whew. The mag is 1450. I personally think, Jono, and I want someone else to chime in, that those levels to me are a little out of whack. Like, I think the mag is okay. I mean, it could stay that high without causing any damage. The calcium, I would bring it up to at least 420, and the KH, I would drop it down to 12. The reason it was explained to me is calcium is 380, which I don't think that'll hurt anything. But the minute it drops below that, you're going to be in maybe some issues. I'm not sure what issues because I've never had mine that low, but I've just been told, like, keep it 420 minimum. 420, I think, is where BRS and like WWC, Worldwide Corals, keep their calcium levels. So I tend to want to stay a little bit above the kind of danger area. So if you're at 380 and something happens and your consumption goes up and it starts to drop, then you're in a danger zone. So I would keep it a little above 380 for the calcium, and KH, I would just keep it not at 12, maybe 10 if you want to keep it that high, maybe 10. If you're confident in those test kits, I mean, a couple water changes would 4 foot 500 liters sounds like a 120. So I would kind of maybe dose some calcium, bring it up to 420, um, and then maybe do some water changes to bring that KH down. But if you do water changes with, you know what, man, I would bring that calcium up to 420 and then just let the levels drop by themselves. If you do, if you're gonna do a water change with like Instant Ocean or Reef crystals, which has high alkalinity, I don't think it's gonna drop much from 12. So unless you're doing it with like Fritz salt, which the alkalinity is about 8 or 9, I don't think you're gonna get that alkalinity down. So the only thing I think you need to do before you put corals in is maybe get that calcium up to maybe 420. And then the rest, you can have them drop over time by themselves. I like what K-Town does on his streams, joins the Hangout twice and uses one of the cameras as a tank cam. You know what, K-Town, that's a good idea. I'm a K-Town, I'll give you some, I'll give you credit for that. But I might use that because I think I can use a phone, I can use something. But when I stream late at night. So her, you know what? That's a good idea though. Maybe what I'll do is I'll shoot videos during the day and play that when I'm streaming. So I'll figure something out, guys. I will figure something out. We'll figure something out. I promise you. GoPro is the way to go. All right, let's see other question. Reefing with O. You still have bio balls? Yes, I do. Exclusive reef, but I've given away most of them. I've offered people, hey, do you want bio balls? Do you want this? So I think I have 5 left. I think I have 5 bio balls left, buddy. So if when you're starting on the new tank, you want a bio ball with some bacteria that's been seeding for years, I got a bio ball for you. I can't, maybe 2 bio balls. So exclusive. You have my number. You and I can talk about that. Maybe we can meet up. I'll give you a bio ball or 2 to seed your tank. Hey, Braveheart, reef for 525. You have a Red Sea reef for 525, right? Would a 20-gallon long make a good frag setup? I think so. I know Paul Williams, Reef Community Worldwide, is now looking to set up a frag system, and I think a 20 long would work well for him. I've seen people use 20 longs and just use PVC and egg crate and build like a like a elevator platform, because I think the thing we love about frag tanks is the fact that they're shallow. So I've seen people use 20 longs and just build like a little platform to elevate them. Hey, oh, did you see Richard Ross's BRS video at Macna? He was slamming everyone again, just like on Dev's stream. Oh man, is this a bad time to say like I saw Richard Ross at the Aquatic Experience on Saturday, and we actually had a good conversation. I took a picture with him, Sanjay, and he was slamming everyone again. I did not see that video, Reef Keeper. I did not. I did not. So you know what? Once the stream ends, I got dishes to do. So that's the video I'm gonna put on at Macna. That's the video I'm gonna put on when I'm washing dishes. But I didn't see it. That's interesting. I mean, in person, he's a really nice guy. I know he's passionate about reefing. He's a scientist. He runs like a huge aquarium, like one of the nicest aquariums I've heard. I don't know. I'm not going to comment until I see it. But Richard Ross is, and I know he has a nice reef tank at home. So I'll watch the video and I'll ask around. I'll ask around Phil. So hopefully next time. Is Vision Rob? Is that nano thing going on? Yeah, no, I pulled out of that a long time ago. I'm not in that nano chain. I have nothing to do with it. So I see people make videos about it. I'm not in it anymore. I have nothing to do with it. So Um, Johnson Chow takes a couple months for it to establish. What's up, Dave? What up, Dave? Hello, Dave. How are you doing? Dave Nano Tanks. Good evening, Dave. K-Town Reefer. Any other question? I guess it's night by you. Yes, it is, Phil. It is 9:30. I think it's 9:30 and really dark. So I think you're on the West Coast. So what is it, 6:30? And you probably have light? Yeah. My lights are almost, my lights go off about 10. So the actinics are on, all blues are on. So I think it's gonna be off pretty soon. 420. I like that number in so many ways, Phil. We're an officer of the law, Phil. You were an officer of the law, Reef Keeper. Greg Caro, who did he slam? He slammed Bubble Scrubbing, Ruby Reef, Polyp Lab, Ice Gap. Wow. Who did he slam? I haven't seen the video. He slammed Bubble Scrubbing, Ruby Reef, Polyp Lab. Why would he slam Polyp Lab? You know what, man? No, I really want to see that video. Anyone hear from Paul? I don't see him on anywhere. Yeah, Paul is still around. Still has a reef tank. Still has an awesome reef tank. I know he doesn't live stream anymore because I think he's said he's gotten a little bit bored with them. My lights are flickering. I think you guys see that, right? Yeah, let me just adjust my lighting. Excuse me 1 second. One sec, guys. Just had to adjust my lighting. It was flickering. Don't know why. All right. Yeah, I don't think he does Test Tuesday anymore. I think, you know what? I'll ask him. I'll shoot him a message on Facebook and ask him. You could shoot him a message on Facebook, Reef Community Worldwide. He has a huge group, like 5,000 members. So shoot him a message and see. I know every now and again he still does Test Tuesday, but he's still around. Jono, Manchester United FC. Pains me to say that, Jono. Pains me to say that. Bought a dosing pump Saturday and some calcium and mag powder supplements to dose. Going to set it up weekend and, like you said, raise the calcium to 420. Just got to figure out how much to dose every hour. Whoa. Like you're doing a one-time adjustment from 3. The calcium and mag powder you have, it should have some direction on how to dose it. So just follow the directions and how much to raise it by. To raise it from 380 to 420, I think you can dose it in 1 or 2 over the course of 1 or 2 days. Going from 380 to 420 is not a lot. So I think you can do it at one time. However, I don't think you need, if you're just adding corals and soft corals to a fish only tank, then I don't think you need to do any kind of continual dosing. That tank is not, there's not going to be, unless you're like packing it with coral from day one. But I don't think you'll have to. Chances are very, very minute. Lights went off. Chances are very low that you'll have to dose. And my lights went dead. Sorry, guys. All right, we'll have to do it in the dark. We're doing it in the dark today. Chances are very low that you'll need to dose every hour. So just raise it one time and then I think water changes. Greg says, and by the way, Greg is kind of the guy who tells the truth in the forums. That's how I got to know G. Carroll in the forums. I'd rather hear someone tell the truth about their feelings than lie. That is true. And the one thing you got to say about Richard Ross, he knows his stuff. Like he knows his stuff. Like he knows what he's talking about. But again, I can't comment on that video because I didn't watch it. But Phil, um, where is where is where can is that video on BRS's channel? Where did you see that video? Can you send it to me? You know, funny enough, last time I was streaming, we had a talk about Reef Central, and it I was just doing a lot of research into Reef Central. This is not something that's well Reef Central, but I was just looking at a lot of earlier posts. I just happened to find a lot of earlier posts, and there have been a lot of people selling snake oil stuff to reefers over the years. Like this fixes this, and then we now know that doesn't work. So I can't comment on anything Greg said, but I could see if someone gets upset of like people pitching products and doesn't work. And like I said, he's a scientist, does this stuff for a living, you know, he knows his stuff. So I want to check out that video. That is my dishes washing video tonight. Polyp Lab Medic. He was at a show and most of those vendors were there. Well, speaks his mind. Yeah, Rich is 100% science based. So don't claim your product does something if you aren't willing to prove it. That thing that was on Dev Stream about, you know, the bubble strumming. I think at the end, though, I think not that Rich came over to Cruz's side about bubble scrubbing, but I think Rich kind of accepted it when he said, hey, like, I don't have any scientific evidence, but I'm using it and I've seen, I don't know what the proper word is here. Maybe it's, let me research this word. If I'm gonna make sure I don't use you know, like maybe you see like evidence by observing your tank, like when you bubble scrub, this happens. So I think if he says like, hey, if you do that, you're not saying it's science based, but you notice when you do this, I think he at the end, not that he accepted it, but he said, okay, I can believe that. I can see it your way then. But yeah, don't claim anything is science based. All right. Pay your light bill, bro. Hey, Grant, listen, that is my boss trolling me. Again, it's not my light bill. It's literally a battery. So, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. BRS channel. Oh, all right. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Oh, thank you. There you go. It's on BRS's channel. All right. Let me add that to my watch later list. Oh, I did get the notification for this today. I did see this. I was in the middle of a meeting with my boss to notice it. So I didn't watch it on the clock. I didn't watch it. I'm saving it for later. All right, let's see if my lights go off at 10:20. Tried Medic, Kick, no brainer. Yeah, I know some of these products, man. Like I think, like this whole garlic thing for ick. I don't think it works. Mike Paletta 500-gallon video today, and it was great. I am also going to add that to the watch list. AL empirical. Yes, that is the word I was looking for. So yes, empirical evidence that yes. Yes. All right, I answered all the questions. So I really want to check out that Richard Ross video. There's a lot of BS in the world, and reef keeping is no exception. The talk will go over different flavors of reef BS and how anecdotal. Man, I'm getting like lesson here. There is a lot of BS in the world.
0.2 miles, 0.33 kilometers, south of the center of Brooklyn Heights, New York.
And somehow Alexa just thought I said something to her, so she started answering me. Dig through Reef BS and come out smelling. This is a 44-minute talk on Reef BS. Wow. Gotta watch that. Gotta watch that. Hello, Mr. Chris Rose. How's work going? How is Mr. Dean Wood? Hey, Phil. So, I mean, tell us some of the other stuff. You said you're talking about bubble scrubbing. We have a question by Girish Kirplanani. I hope I didn't mess that up. Will my frog spawn sting my SPS coral? It's growing and getting closer to it. Yes, it will. If frog spawn touches SPS coral, the frog spawn is going to win. And if you see frog spawn sometimes can sprout like longer tentacles that go out and sting and try to create space. So if you wake up one day and your SPS has like welts on it, like something bit it, or it could be the frog spawn sending out stinger tentacles. So yes, the frog spawn is going to win. Chris Roast, all good, mate. Mr. Wood is doing nothing as usual. So there you have it. Woody does nothing at work. Solved. Sweepers. Alex, what up, Alex? I can't find words. I don't know why I can't find the proper words tonight. Not sure why, but I'm getting my wordplay all mixed up. Hey, Alex, how's the tank doing? I know Greg is listening. Anything? Can you put in the chat, Greg? Anything new happening with the tank? Have you done anything other than connect the sump? Anything new last time? Exclusive. I know you're getting a new tank. Have you made any equipment choices yet? Can you let us know and why? I know you're doing an MP10, but anything else? Like I said, Dave and I saw that tank at the Aquatic Experience, and I do like it. Like it doesn't have the curved edge anymore. I think the back chamber is awesome. I do like the tank. I like the new JBJ tanks. I think that's the one you're going to get. My Echinata stunk the heck out of my tricolor Valletta yesterday. Oops. Anyone have a link to the Paletta video? I think that should be, based on past, I think that should be on American Reef channel. Hello, Dev. Should be on American Reef channel. That's where the Paletta videos always. Hello, Reef dudes. How are you? How is it up there in Kelowna? Ooh, 1 week ago in Kelowna, Canada. There you go. Here is the link. Happy Thursday. Yes, that is an awesome video. The Paletta 500 has arrived. How to move and install large aquariums. Yeah, this looks like it's an awesome video. Wow, a bunch of Macna videos came out today. Ooh, help, my corals are changing colors. Ooh. K-Town Reefer, it's raining in Kelowna. Oh yeah, K-Town and Reef dudes, they're in the same town. Sorry for the rain, man. I think. Is it Alex? Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Al.
Right. in the basement working. I see.
Yeah, just trying to keep up with chat because I have to. When you paste the link, I can't go to it on my phone, so I have to copy it and email it to myself really quickly.
I'm sorry, man. This
All right.
I know. How are things going?
Pretty good. Like everything else, you get a few bumps on the road, so.
Yeah, I am battling. You know what? I finally think I have a handle on my phosphates, man.
Well, good.
Yeah, some GFO last week, half a cup of GFO, took it from 1.3 to 0.48 in a week. And just like Greg said, my alkalinity dropped from 9.5 to 7 something. So he's always warned me that, when you use GFO, it can drop your alkalinity. So it did drop. And I have, I'm doing Triton that requires you dose 4 equal parts. So what I'm going to do is I have the separate alkalinity booster. So I'm going to boost the alkalinity over the next couple of days. Let me see. Exclusive is, so he's setting up a 45-gallon JBJ, which I saw in person, and it's not the old JBJ tanks. It's a new ones. There's a new version without curved glass, and I saw it at the Aquatic Experience. It looks awesome. So he's saying he's going with the CAD Light skimmer. I've seen those. AI Hydra 26. I like those. 2 MP10. The Inkbird controller. The JBJ ATO. Innovative marine reactors. And the Santa Monica Drop 1.2.
Sounds like a nice setup.
I know. I like that setup. This is not a negative. Let me not say this is a negative. But I think there were some older Red Sea tanks that had kind of a little, I'm gonna say baffle, but it had like a little divider in between the front of the tank and the filtration at the back. So if you had any equipment kind of hanging off the back, you wouldn't see it. And I think when Dave and I were looking at that tank, we were like, if you have any kind of skimmer or anything showing up at the back, it's going to detract from how awesome the tank is. But that's really picking at minor details. I think that's a good tank.
So is it one continuous piece of glass still, or is it just seamed?
No, I don't think it's one continuous piece of glass. Was the old version one? I never thought of that. It's one continuous piece of glass that was just curved.
Yeah, because they're just heating it up in an oven and molding it how they wanted it. That's why I was wondering if they went away from that and just went to a standard silicone seam.
Yeah, silicone seam. I think it's silicone seam because otherwise there'd be a curve, right? It's just a silicone seam. Yeah. Is that more expensive, heating the glass? I know it looks more refined that way.
I don't know how it is cost-wise. I think part of that would probably depend on the thickness and the process. Like I remember the old original JBJ tanks that used to have power compacts in them. And I remember we had a few issues with those where they'd snap in the corners every now and then. But
I forgot. I know, and
I know I date myself when I say the word power compact. I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
But, I apologize for using a dirty word because that's what that is. These things are horrible.
It's the other day I was and I keep saying this, and this is true. The other day I was at my LFS again, and I think at the Aquatic Experience somewhere there were guys still debating halides versus LEDs and how LEDs don't grow coral. Like I am still like to this day. Maybe every time I go to my LFS, it's because I usually go on Sundays. Maybe it's the same guy that but it's nuts how you have
Just stay away from the argument. It's like people like it's like someone that's a Ford versus a GM guy. You're not gonna. There is no argument to change that. They have their feelings, and hey, I think they all could work. You know, I think it's just a matter of how you set up the tank and your individual parameters. You know.
Yeah. Meta highlights work. T5s work. LEDs work. They all work. So I don't know why we are even arguing. Like, I'm pretty sure some of the aquacultured corals that the guy was buying in the store were grown under LEDs, right? Because if he had anything from ORA or WWC in that store, those are LED shops, you know?
You know, and I just saw something on Reef to Reef where it's a pretty friendly community, and I want to say it was about Mike Paletta's new tank, and somebody was very upset that he wasn't using halides. And it was like, and apparently it's somebody that likes to really push halides and says LEDs are junk, but it's like early on I saw the argument because really it was an unproven technology, but we're way beyond unproven now.
I know.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I really can't figure it out for the life of me. So it works. I happen to like the T5 LED hybrid, but
I'm enjoying mine too. I think cost wise it was a good investment.
And I already have heat issues here in my apartment in the summer. The one thing about halides, man, I've heard so many people say since switching to LEDs, they don't have to use chillers anymore. And I can't imagine. Manhattan Aquariums, when they refurbished their store, I think last summer, they had one tank with halides over it. And I think when they refurbished the store, they took that halide tank out. But whenever you're walking and you're passing this one spot with the halides, geez, you could feel the heat.
Yeah, well, and I ran them on a couple of tanks, and they were nice, but I've had a few people that have said the newer ballasts run a lot cooler than the old ones. And, high power LEDs will put off a decent amount of heat too, but I don't know. I just never really seen a good scientific comparison on the heat and the power and efficiency. And I mean, my worry with halides, like, even for my tank in the summer, it would have become a challenge in here without extra air conditioning.
I've heard about the digital ballasts and how they're cooler. The thing also is, you can't argue with the fact that halide bulbs and stuff are just getting scarcer and scarcer. Pretty soon they're gonna be the way of Triton, where we're gonna be like, who got the new halide bulb? Maybe. It may never get to that. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I've said, you believe me, like you know what? I think over the last 6 months, I've become very sensitive to well, not sensitive is not the word, but I've become appreciative of some of the abuse, because sometimes, Alex, I'll say something and on Facebook or comment wise, I'll get some comments, man. So I'm just kidding. That was a joke. And I don't, geez, it's like some people take this stuff way too seriously.
Yeah, well, that's why I just tend to avoid those conversations.
It's not even it wasn't the thing that I keep harping on this. It wasn't even a which one is better, because the thing about a conversation about which one is better, that is so subjective, because it could be which one is better for you. Like, we could each use different lights and you're 100% correct in your beliefs that, like one light is better than the other, and I could be absolutely correct in my beliefs, and we could both be right, and it could both work for us in our situations where maybe you're thinking more about budget or aesthetics, where I'm not. I just want, punch and par, and just give me the power, just give me all the fancy ramping up, ramping down, so we could each be, so it wasn't even an argument about which is better. It was a argument like those don't work. End of story.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's just too many variables in this hobby. I mean, it's mind-boggling if you really start tearing into it, just how many subtle differences there are between tanks. And it could be almost impossible sometimes to prove out, oh, this is what makes it successful. Well, that could be it, or it could be that and like a combination of certain things. Maybe you got a species of cryptic sponge that other people don't have, and that is doing something unintentional, or some other type of microfauna like a copepod or an ostracod that, it supplies some nutrients something didn't have, and someone else sets up the exact same way and they don't have as much success. You just never know.
Greg is saying, not, I'm just repeating Greg's words. He says halides and T5 are dead technologies, hands down. I didn't say it. G. Carroll on Reef to Reef said it, so go give him the abuse. I'm pretty sure he's used to it by now.
I don't know. Even if I set up a monster display at this point, I'd probably try to get a commercial grade LED fixture. Just for the fact that I don't have to change the bulbs on the stupid thing,
I agree. Right now, I'm loving the Aquatic Live T5 fixture because I run T5s for just a couple hours a day, just to get some color, fill in a little bit of spectrum. But LEDs for me. LEDs for me. Greg is saying there's absolutely no new tech coming out of any of those lights.
No.
So
they're good old standbys. I mean, I like my T5s because it saved me several $1,000s in radions. That's why I like them. I wanted LEDs, but I did not want to
pay the full price
for realistically like 12 to get the spread. And I don't know, with my tank, I have a lot of, I got such a mix of stuff in here, and I actually backed off the LEDs a little bit because a couple of issues I was having. I don't know if that was it. I think it was something else, but
And you know what? Even WWC said in their video, and when I was there in August, they run T5 just to fill in some shadows. And in that instance, I like it. I'm going to agree because when I was running the Zeovit tank, and that was the most successful period in my reefing career I've ever had. When I took out the undersides, or when corals got past a certain size, when they would turn into mini colonies, the undersides would die. Hang on a second. Someone has a question. Purple Nurple. Interesting name. Hey, Purple Nurple. I have a question. I have bows for you. I use them for what? Oh, yeah, Purple Nurple. I said he has a question. So, Purple Nurple, go ahead. Yes, I can see your comment, Purple Nurple. What's your question? While I wait for you to type your question, let me just answer exclusive questions. I have bolts for you. I use them for 2 months, so one day I could drop them off. Hey, exclusive, yeah, you got my number. Shoot me a text. Maybe whenever you're ready to pick up these bio balls, we could do like a trade. Hey, Alex, what's your what's your electric bill like?
Mine? Oh, I've told this one before. So this summer, with the air conditioning running, it did get a little higher than usual. It was about $360 was my high bill. But wintertime, it's about 225. I have cheap
225.
electricity.
Oh man, my electric bill last month
I know.
was $299, and I only know that because my wife tells it every time she gets.
That's how I know about it too.
Uh,
But then I tell her about how the electric bills are in other states, and she doesn't feel so bad.
tell her a 75-gallon tank in New York, $299.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's like now I'm into a good time of the year because the when the air conditioning and the heat wasn't running, I was having low pH in the tank or lower than usual, right around 7, 8 it was bottoming out at. And I was building up a little more heat in here, and the tank was approaching 80 degrees, which isn't really a bad thing, but usually I try to keep it below that if I could. But now that it's gotten into the 50s outside, you know, the heater for the tank hasn't kicked on. It's come within a tenth of a degree of kicking on, and it still hasn't done it yet. So,
All right, all right. And that heat exchanger system is still working awesome.
well, we'll find out when it turns on. As far as I know, yeah, it should be fine.
All right, all right. I remember the other day, Daily Reefing was talking about just wattages of how many heaters he would need if he if he was supposed to install a heater. Um, if you had to put a heater in that tank, how many watts of heating would you?
I had estimated I would need I want at least 2,000 watts, maybe 3,000 watts. I actually did look at commercial grade inline heaters, but the sheer cost of purchasing, I mean, they were over $1,000. And then, like, they were, they had to have, like, their own, like, 20 amp breakers because they drew a lot of power. And this just, using the natural gas water heater just made a whole lot more sense cost wise.
All right, all right, all right. I got you. I just wanted to hear like a wattage number that was going to sound crazy.
I think that's what I had estimated it out because I wanted to have some extra
Backup.
capacity because I really didn't understand with this. It was kind of an experiment of how much heating would it really. It's not insulated down here, so the walls get cool, which actually I think help it a bit um, in the summertime. But in the wintertime, I think I do like probably like 2, 3 heating cycles a day, and
All right,
that holds the tank within one degree.
all right. So, but because the water volume is so big, it still would take a long time to like move the needle. Let's say, but man, you're up there close to Chicago, so I'm pretty sure you have some. In the winter, you get like zero or below zero temperatures. You can get some sustained temperatures at that. You can get sustained times at like close to zero.
The last couple of years, we've had at least a few days or a couple of weeks, anyways, of like it was 0 or below 0.
Yeah, I have a coworker who moved from Chicago. Two coworkers who are from Chicago that work in one now works in Memphis, and I honestly don't think Alex here in New York will have weeks close to zero. Like we might have a few days that we get, we go nuts where we're close to zero, but we don't have weeks where we're at or below zero. That's nuts.
So even the last couple of days here, like when it was still a little warmer outside, like my temp was up to about 78.3, and it's just been slowly creeping down now that the temperature outside's cooling off. So now I hit 77, and at 76 .9, it'll trigger a heating cycle. So
It brings it up.
It just hasn't gotten to one yet.
All right. That's not bad. That is not. That is cool. That is cool. Let me see if I missed any question. Greg Carroll, please no drama. Yes, please. Awoken said I prepaid my electric bill and ended up paying less that way. You know what? Con Ed is our local utility company. I think at one time they allow you to pay a certain amount, like prepay. Let's say my electric bill spiked up to 300. They were like, for summer, give us $200 a month, and you use whatever you want. But they haven't offered it to me. Maybe because I'm just using so much crazy electricity. So, yeah. Um, let's see what's going on in the chat. Um, hey, Murphy, I can see your comment, Murphy. You on vacation? Snow. We are getting snow Saturday in the Catskills. Really? Reef dudes, pipe aloof of your hot water heater tank. Yeah, that's what Alex did. I think I have a video where Alex kind of went through an entire thing about how his heat exchanger. That was actually pretty cool. Alex, do you have a video on your stream about just the heat?
I have 3 videos. They're called Heating with Fire Parts 1, 2, and 3.
What is it called?
Heating with Fire.
Oh man!
I even got a blowtorch out in one of them, and an actual thermal camera.
Going for the interesting title, I think. Right? Know how to heat a large salt, or how to heat a large fish tank, how to heat a large aquarium, heating. No.
That did find anything heating with fire?
Heating with fire. All right, I'm gonna go check those out again.
It's older content. I wasn't as quite well versed in my video making skills, but
Yeah. I'm still not versed with my heating with fire. Alex G's. Oh man.
oh, do you see the one with the blowtorch?
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Oh, heating the 1,600 gallon system with fire with a blowtorch, and the other two are you part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 2 is only 3 minutes.
All I did was I took my thermal camera and I showed how quickly the coil heats up when it's kicked on. So it doesn't take long at all for the hot water to reach it and get the coil heating.
Heating with fire. So those of you guys, check if you want to know how to create a system to heat a huge aquarium.
There's a couple different ways. I'm using a PEX loop. People also use titanium heat exchangers. Aquarium Engineering, which I can't remember the guy's name for some reason, he makes them. He makes hot and cold systems.
You know what? I think that's the person who Jeff Daily Reefing mentioned that he contacted. That's the guy that's going to make him. Is that the guy that's going to make him like a heat exchanger thingy? Yes. I think he got recommended that on the stream. Just the bubble tip said he'd be even more impressed if it was heating with ice. That would have been like you can't please everybody, Alex. Don't worry. There's always going to be somebody who's disappointed. Wait, hang on. Give me a second, Alex. My wife has to get ready for work, and I don't see her. So let me just give me a sec. Let me go wake her up.
All right. I'll show everyone the tank here. I can't find my scraper blade. It's got to be around here somewhere.
All right, I am back. You need a snow shovel for that tank, Alex.
What,
Scraper
this
blade
one?
will. Oh, he's saying a scraper blade is going to take you forever. Yeah.
I can't find it. That's the problem. I know I got the thing around here somewhere. I just
You
can't
lost it?
find it. Yeah, because I don't keep it on there because the metal one will rust, and so I take it off and put it in a separate area so it could dry out. I just don't remember where I put it.
That tank is coming along nicely, man. I remember when you put that up thinking like it's going to take a long time to fill out. But I don't know if you've just been buying giant colonies or the stuff is just
No,
growing fast.
I I've been buying mostly small stuff, and then it's just been growing out. There's a few things that were more medium sized, but you know, like that little acro colony there, that was just a little 1 inch frag. Uh, that same thing with that bonsai. That was a little frag, kind of like the one on the rock next to it. So I'm not killing all my acros, so that's a start. So I did find out what was messing with my monoporas, at least in part. So that a couple of them are starting to slowly come back. My when I was watching bioluminescence at night, I flipped on the red light to look and see if there was any pests chewing on them, and my emerald crabs had run out of bubble algae to eat, and they decided that monopora polyps taste really good.
Oh,
And I watched them going up with their little pinchers right onto the skeleton and yanking stuff off and putting it in their mouth.
how did you take them off?
Oh, yeah, I caught them and got them out of there. I caught one the first night. I caught it, and I said, well, the other one's not over here. I'll let it go. And then the next night I came over and looked, and that one was there. So it was easy to catch them, though.
How do you catch? Huh.
Well, so I got my BRS tongs out.
Uh-huh.
So I took my top off, got my viewing box on there, and took my red flashlight. And they can't see red, so I shined the light at them, and then I basically snuck the tongs right on the main part of their body, and just gave it a little bit of pressure, and then wiggled their legs off the rock, and then I opened the lid and threw them in here.
Wow. I never thought of that. Jeez.
Oh, I wouldn't try to grab them any other way because they'll either pinch you or they'll run, and they're very fast. But you just sneak up and they can't see the tongs coming. And once you got them, I mean, you don't have to crush them or anything. But once you got them, they really can't get away. So
Yeah, I've heard that whole thing about red, about they can't see in red.
yeah, now depending on the animal, some of them can, because some of them will react to it, and it's either a shadow that crosses them, and that's what they see, or there is another, there's a little more than red spectrum coming out, and they could see it, because some fireworms, some of the worms seem to react to it a little bit more, and then there's a couple of those fish that react a bit. The porcupine puffer, I mean, he's out and about all night, so, and I think he catches the shadows and such.
He doesn't sleep at all?
Oh, he sleeps during the day, and then about the time I come home, he's usually in bed. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. Did you enjoy your cocktail shrimp today?
I thought you had more corals in that softy tank than what I'm seeing now.
No, well, so my glass is dirty. Apologies. But I got a green Sinularia, the Colt Coral, another green Sinularia, a Colt, and then just a little piece of Blue Ridge. I did put, it's empty now, and I don't know if they got eaten or just walked away and I haven't found them yet. I did put some Rhodactis mushrooms in here that I had growing out, and I was like, oh, those might be kind of cool. Put it in here, and they were leaving the rock, and I'm not sure if they've just migrated or if they're just gone.
They were picked at because you have a bunch of animals that pick at stuff. So you think they were maybe picked at?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the angels are. That's all they do all day is pick stuff. So they might have got them, or. I mean, that's kind of the way I've gone in this tank. You know, if it's gonna get picked at, I'm not gonna get heartbroken about it. So
that's why you set up this tank. I see some new power heads on the left. Are those new power heads, or are those Corallias?
Nope. Guess again. Oh, now we're gonna play the equipment game. Oh, you're the equipment guy. You should know.
That you have the Neptune Systems pumps?
No, they're not Neptunes.
Huh. Wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. I am not
I can't see the chat from here, but I'm sure someone's gonna know what they are.
Wait, hang on a second. How long have those been on the tank?
These are the. I've added a third one. I had 2 on the tank, and now there's a third.
Why can I not place those? The pumps, I know the wave pumps are like that with the square base. There is another company that makes some small pumps that look like that. I'm just drawing a blank right now.
4,100 gallons per hour.
Those are not Corallias.
Nope. They are not a Chinese-built pump.
I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I should say.
Can I get a hint? Can I get a hint?
They're European.
Oh, are those a CJ Extremes?
No.
But they are CJ though.
No.
Okay, I give up.
Rossmont.
Wait a second. I thought the Rossmont pump you had was this big, ugly, thing that looked like gigantic.
Well, they might look I mean, it is kind of big, but hold on. Let me see. I got another one in a box.
You have a wait. You that's not the Rossmont pump that you got when you went to a show.
One of them is.
Wow.
I got 3 Rossmonts on there now at 4,100 gallons per hour each.
Okay, just so you know, producer Reef and just the bubble tip guessed correctly before I did. So I don't know what you guys win, but you guys win the badge of the night.
That will please refer to O for prizes.
But I just remember the Rossmont when you're putting it on the tank looking like this gigantic power head.
Well, it is a bit of a large tank, so.
Yeah. Rossmont waiver. I don't remember it being, you know what? Yes, it is.
They're an AC controllable pump.
Yeah, I remember that. Rossmont waiver, and then there's the pump controller. Yeah, I remember one of the first few AC controllable pumps, right?
Yep.
All right.
So there it is in my hand.
That's what I remember. It just looks.
Well, just remember what size tank it said.
Oh my god.
That puffer is 8-9 inches long.
I think the Coraline algae kind of gives it, a different perspective.
Yeah, it's like I got 2 on.
Okay, see now the one on the right. If you had showed me that one, I would have said, "Oh man, that's the Rossmont." But does it look different because of the direction it's pointing in? Wait,
Probably.
the one on the right and the pump that you have in your hand, is that the same thing? Jeez. You have a different cage on it though.
I just didn't put the front on it, but the cage is the same.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All right. All right, my bad. All
maybe.
right.
Yeah, too many shadows.
All right.
It,
AL is asking, are they good?
you know, I do like them. Uh, they're easy to take care of and clean. Although I really have been kind of neglecting my cleaning of pumps. The controller has come a long way. When I first got it, it was less than fun to set up, and it took a little bit more just trial and error with it to get it working. They do have a phone app now that'll connect to it, so
Bluetooth?
it's not, it's Wi-Fi, but the way I can't remember if I finished setting it up or not. You could set it up to go onto your own home Wi-Fi, and then you can control the app just directly through your phone without a direct connect.
Ah.
So
Okay.
they had some kind of cool programming options and stuff. I mean, now I don't really look at noise as a factor in my system, and there's quite a bit of it down here, but I can I could hear them ramp up and ramp down. It's not overpowering or anything, but plus I'm on plywood. But I've been really happy with them. I mean, I'm pushing a lot of water in this tank, and I got a fourth one here I might add on eventually. So,
Yeah.
so
For, for, for four pumps that much, I'm not seeing that cold coral move a lot, but
well, it is a big area to.
I know that's what I have to remind myself that it's what is that 720?
Yeah, so it's 4 feet front to back.
Oh, that's the size of my tank, Alex. That's the
So
long size of my tank.
and I got two pushing across the top, and then, like let's see, this guy might do it. Like he's kicking pretty good going into it.
What are the dimensions of that tank again?
So it's 96 inches long,
Mm-hmm.
48 inches front to back, and then it's 36 inches tall.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So
All right.
I'm sure there's a little less than 720 gallons in it with the displacement and everything, but that's what it works out to. So
Wow.
I do love, well, other than the horrid glare from my other tops being off, I just love this view. And actually, I almost lost, well, I did lose one fish in here, and I don't know what happened to it, but one of my orange-tailed damsels disappeared. But, I mean, they are kind of chunky, and I think their eating habits weren't very good for their diet.
The orange-tailed damsels.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those.
And
Yeah,
then
they look.
yeah, they're fat. There's no lying about it, but
I was gonna not say something, but geez, that I was gonna say those damsels look. Is that a damsel? And it looks kind of.
it's wide, okay.
I mean, that's all right. They're healthy.
Well, and I don't know what the circumstances of the other one. Everybody else is good. I did almost lose another fish though. My red cigar wrasse there. He jumped out of the tank during feeding time earlier this week.
Ooh.
And I'll show you where he went. Because I was worried I wasn't sure I was going to get him.
Aren't you surprised how So I had fish jump out and find them 5, 6 feet across the room already, like the body. But I'm so surprised, like when they jump out, how far they get.
So I had the tops off for feeding, and I was standing here, and I just dumped in some food, and a big school of fish came up here, and I heard splashing, and I look over, and I see the cigar wrasse, and he comes up like this and hits the wall,
Oh my gosh.
and then he fell in the
Hey,
crack between the wall and my walking platform.
jeez. How'd you
So
get him out?
I ran and got a net really quickly, and I was able to scoop him, and then I ran him over to the back here, and I just got a 5-gallon bucket and filled it up with some tank water and just put them in that for a couple minutes and let them go ahead and kind of get all the dust and dirt off of them. And then I just picked them up and
Put him right back?
put them back in the tank. And then there was one of the pectoral fins I thought might have been damaged, but I don't know. Within I was still feeding the tank, and I think he was still eating after that. And I'm like, geez, man, take a break. So
It's nature. Only the strongest survive. You think maybe the puffer had that damsel? That damsel looks fat, though.
they are. I won't lie. The damsels eat way too much. I mean, he's really fat.
They are aggressive eaters. They can hold their own.
Yeah. And the thing is that I have, in order to get everybody food in here, and I don't feed crazy amounts of food, although every other day I feed a whole cocktail shrimp, which gets divided between the puffers, and the porcupine gets a bit of a bigger half. But they all come up to the tongs now and eat.
Yeah. You have another damsel in there, right? The other one is not as fat.
Where's the other one?
There
Yeah,
is.
It's not off by much here.
Yeah. You know
Not
what?
off by much, man.
When I first saw them, I was gonna be like, "Did you acclimate mollies?" Because mollies have that body where
Hey, I have to get my angels food because I got my three newest fish are my 3 new angels, so I had to get them happy and eating, which they've been doing good. And then the wrasses are all just ridiculous in their eating habits. So it's a interesting tank to feed, that's for sure. And then there is a cleaner shrimp alive in here. Yeah, you can't really
hiding.
It hides under that rock. I did add 2 more on a whim, and they leave this one alone. It knows enough not to come out because it probably wouldn't fare too well with all these wrasses. Although I have seen one, and I'm pretty sure it was this one early on. It was riding the back of the porcupine puffer down at the bottom and cleaning it off one night. So, but the angels really appreciate the cleaner shrimp. So
I've seen videos, like I think when I watch I don't know if it was the David Attenborough Earth. Like the wrasses the fish those big giant parrotfish and everything just open their mouths, and the cleaner wrasse they just do their job.
Oh yeah, I want to try and get another cleaner wrasse in here because I actually do enjoy having mine in this tank. When I had one in here before, the puffers did not appreciate it as much, and actually when this porcupine got put in, it ate the cleaner wrasse. I don't think it knew what it was. So,
wow.
But this guy could probably take out some of the fish in this tank. But
that's my first thing when you said the damsel disappeared.
Yeah, I don't think though that that's what it was. Maybe a body, if there was a body that was out in the open. But this guy just doesn't do anything, and then where my purple pseudochromis is. Oh, there's one of them. I got three of these guys. I had put 5 in. One I do think got eaten, and then one of them they killed. And these guys are very aggressive, which is why I said let me try a group in such a large tank.
Yeah, I think I put a purple pseudochromis in, and but
Small
I wish I had gone with a like a royal gramma, which you know what? Sometimes we don't realize how big. I think over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if it's just a thing where I've just been seeing fully grown fish. Like a lot of the fish we get that are tiny, when they're fully grown, they actually get pretty large.
Oh yeah.
Reef Dude says mine constantly cleans the tank and other fish. Exclusive is asking, when is the Trident coming out? Don't know. At Macna, Terrence had a speech where he said he doesn't know, and it's probably not going to be anytime soon. I think he said he's going to stop giving updates on when it's going to come out, when it's estimated to come out, because I think he's been burned so many times. So, don't know.
It's gonna wonder if they're makes you wonder what's going on that they're delaying, but at least if they want to improve something with it, they're not just putting it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather them get it right. Is that something you'd consider, like one of these alt monitors?
You know what? At some point, I mean, my ALF doesn't really move. I mean, I have had to do some manual dosing, because I had the feeling something else was going down because of the way some of these corals were acting, and my potassium and my strontium were both low. So I've been slowly picking them up. I don't know where my orange filter is, or I'd grab that.
What do you have, the Polyp Lab one?
Yeah, just another one of those things that I have it somewhere. We'll retro this.
The glasses.
You can get the Aquashella experience.
Did you go last year?
Yeah.
You went to Aquashella?
Yeah, I didn't get to spend a lot of time there because I had my wife with me, and she decided that I needed to leave. I was spending too much money.
What did you buy at Aquashella last year?
Mostly zoanthids.
Oh, all right.
My wife was picking out zoanthids. So.
All right. I think I want to check out Aquashella next year. So I'm not sure yet if it's Dallas or Chicago, but I definitely want to check it out.
Well, come out to Chicago so you can come over and check this thing out.
Maybe I'll take a swim in that tank.
No, thank you. No swimming. There's no swimming allowed. I did at the last this last Chicago show. I did pick up this torch, 21 Tails torch.
Ooh.
So, and I got an orange frog spawn and a bicolor one, which you can't really see back there, but. Slowly adding things.
The tank is coming out awesome, man. I gotta admit.
Well, thank you.
I thought it would have take a while for those frags to grow out and for it to look, but it's already getting that. I mean, you buy corals all the time, but it's getting that,
Well, and I've had losses, although they haven't been bad yet. Onesie twosies here, and you know, it's like anything else. There's always a little frustration, but I know with this being a mixed reef, like it's going to be hard to keep everything happy all the time. So, like,
I watched that BRS video last Friday, and I think I was just watching what he said of what kind of Ryan from BRS said. He said, like a mixed reef is hard because you're trying to keep a lot of different things happy. I think they say, if you want to do an SPS tank and you design it around SPS where, highlight, high flow, don't cram it with too much fish. It's sort of, ooh, oh man. Are those the purple candy canes? The ones on the right, or just the two different colors of green? One is teal and one is the
So I got the really bright green one there, like the radioactive green one.
Yeah.
That one was only like 3 or 4 polyps. So that one's been growing. And the same thing, I'd say the mint green here, the bigger one, that one was probably about half size. And then the standard candy cane here, I picked that one up not that long ago. It's starting to grow out a little bit.
Yeah, mixed reefs are my favorite. I don't think I could do an SPS dominant tank. I have probably those 3, and I think I was told that sort of purple one with the green middle. That did you just put the phone under the water?
No, it's on my
Oh, your box.
I said, I'm cheating here. Hold on, let me.
Oh, I thought you were just using the thing, and then you just went ahead and just put the phone in the water.
I don't got that kind of technology over here.
I'm just you never know. It could be a Samsung Galaxy,
Here's some. This is the main Zoa garden area.
Yeah.
So, wow, that one looks really. Oh, that's the candy apple red. So
that looks nice. Imagine when those start growing, when those like fully take over that section.
I know, and I was never a big zoanthid fan, but they've definitely grown on me quite a bit.
What about acans?
I got a couple of them up here, although they weren't doing all that great. They're okay. I mean, like, they've actually been growing, and I might get a little distant, but that's the ancans over there, and then a crazy T Monophora. So. I'll probably get more ancans eventually, but man, it's too bad this guy does not show up good. My Stereonepthia.
What color is it?
Yeah, it's got yellow in it.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably the one color that doesn't show up well on gel filters at all, or under actinic lights is yellow. You could tell that from like yellow, like yellow star polyps or like yellow zoas or yellow palithoa. They look good when you have them under daylight, but under actinic, they just look like this drab yellow.
Yeah, but even like the blondie zoas over there, their yellow's glowing. The thing about this Stereonepthia, they're not fluorescent. They're just yellow. So it doesn't really glow at all during the night. I mean, it's a photo. It's more or less, it looks just like a carnation coral, but it's photosynthetic. So
okay.
There's a couple red varieties. I gotta try and get a hold of them.
Red photosynthetic varieties?
Yeah, they'll be more of a red or a purple color. So they're not in the trade very often. There's a couple places. Unique Corals has one that's like a pink or a red, and I think Live Aquaria or Foster and Smith might have one that they list on Aquacultured every now and then. I gotta watch though and get a hold of them because they're not hard corals, but they just look really cool, and they grow pretty quick too. But they feel like a carnation coral, and they look like it. The little scarolites um, in the branches, you could see them in there, just like a carnation coral.
Carnation coral. I'm just looking that up because I think it's been a while.
I think it's scarolites. I can't remember the term.
Oh yeah, the stuck carnation coral. Oh my gosh! As a new reefer, you don't understand how many times I've tried the carnation coral, and then I learned my lesson. That is a beautiful coral to try.
Yeah, so this looks like that. It's just photosynthetic.
That is a red. It has reddish yellow.
No. This one's yellow. There's red varieties. Hold on, let me.
You know what? Wow.
Hold on a second. Let me get a flashlight because if I put white light on it, you'll see exactly what it looks like.
You going upstairs? Let's see your wife's Zoa tank while you're up there, if it's close by.
Yeah, there's not a. She hasn't been doing a whole lot with it. We just got. Oh, geez. She's just got. That's a. Jeez.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey, they're growing.
Yeah, this little colony here's been growing out. She's still mad at me though because I have all her zoas.
Well, you do have all her zoas.
Well, I told her I'd grow them out so that if something happens.
Nobody wants to hear that. I tried telling that to my wife. Like, I'm going to grow them out.
Hey, I told her it's a new tank. And a couple of those things she picked were not the cheapest varieties. All right. Hold on. Look in my box and see if my aquarium clip's in here. Nope. All right. I should be able to show you. See the yellow in some of the branches?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, there you go.
It's not like super bright, but you know, like let's try this. There you go. You can kind of see it now. It's a pretty cool. And, you know, there's. Yeah, it's a pretty cool coral. They like to filter feed too, but they are photosynthetic. So.
All right, Alex. I am going to. If I'm ever in Chicago, I'm going to ask you for a frag of that.
Sure thing. I actually, what I want to do is, because it grows pretty quick, I'm going to start fragging it out a bit and just get some other mother colonies going in here, and then see if I can get it going in the 720 and kind of make a bit of a forest, and then try to get some other varieties of it.
Why don't you have a big toadstool in the 720? I know you have a toadstool.
I just haven't been focusing on coral in that tank.
Yeah, because over the course of a year, I grew like a 1 foot wide toadstool, and I think, you know, things like that will make that tank look kind of full.
Yeah, it's definitely something I gotta do. It's just I keep going and I'm like, you know, like I just had this low potassium and then testing the strontium was low, which I know they aren't the most accurate of kits, but I was just like, man, I gotta try dosing a bit. So I've been dose it a little bit, see if I can get it registering on the kit. I know my potassium wasn't down too bad. It was only like 10 parts per million short, but that's a lot of dosing to move that much in this size system. Yeah, it's...
What do you use to increase your potassium? You bought like
Yeah, I got Brightwell Aquatics. It's like potassium P, and then I got a strontium P. There's my... That was an acro. This guy's been growing pretty good still, though.
And they're basing out. The branches are getting thicker, so they're getting ready to take off.
Yeah, some of them have been doing good. I mean, like I said, this one that I'm kind of centered on is actually two different types of acros. I took a tiny little piece of this colony right here that I accidentally broke off. Just a little tiny flat piece, and I put it down here, and it's already starting to branch now. So, and I got one like this guy here that's just hasn't really done anything. It's just sitting there. So,
yeah.
I got some Bally Slimer going though. Finally got a piece of that.
I see the coralline algae in different colors is taking off.
Yeah, it actually when my TDS when I or not TDS, but when I dropped down to really low crap, why can't I think of it? Really low nitrate phosphate, the coralline just completely stopped.
That is a pavona to the left there. Is that a pavona?
Yep. I just picked that guy up at the CMAS, or not CMAS, the Tank It Easy show, and then I got this little one that I was told it's Red Planet. It was $20. I was like, I'll take it. So I got this. I keep flipping this rock over. This little tenuous here. So I got a few acros.
Oh, look at that.
I'm taking it slow with them. Well,
slow.
I got another frag of it that I accidentally snapped off. I put it down there, and it's in low light, so it's a lot darker color. But it's just been spreading on the rock down there. I'm like, okay. But yeah, this guy's been doing awesome though. And I don't even care about having like, I mean, I didn't pay anything crazy for this. I just think it's cool if I can make them actually grow into colonies like this little guy here. That's that's the biggest acro colony I've ever grown right there.
Wait, isn't that the other one is bigger than that, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger when I started it though, because you see, like, it's actually like, that's a little frag I busted off.
I remember that when that busted off and you glued it there, didn't you?
Yeah, and it's spreading out. So I'm just leaving it. I'm like, hey, it's growing and it looks cool. I'm not arguing with it. And then I forgot what the heck they called this one. It's not a Slimer, but this one's been taking off a little bit too.
Alex, we got a question in the chat from Bubble Tip. All my acros were doing great, and just recently they started to STN. Can't figure out if everything is super stable.
I'll be the first to admit I just lost a couple myself, and I have no idea why. I had let me pull a skeleton out. I had this little guy, and it hadn't done anything for months, and then it grew that much off of a tip, and then it just slowly died off. You know, and I had that die. I had Another little millipora that I had that was doing awesome. I moved it to a little different spot, and it kicked it. And then I had, of all things, this little stylo, which, I mean, they're always pretty hardy corals, and then it just suddenly bleached one day. So it could be a stability issue. It could be something, something's lacking, and it's finally depleted to a point to where it's impacting the coral. I am not an SPS expert by any means yet, so.
What do you do with the skeletons? Do you just put them in the calcium reactor eventually?
No, just throw them on the bottom. It's just a graveyard down there for now. It's not too full yet, but there's, I'm trying to think how many acros I've killed so far. I don't know, maybe 10 or so acros I've probably killed, but it's weird because some of them just go to crap and die, and then other ones it's like nothing happens, and I don't get it sometimes. So no.
Someone is saying he's had that. Tyler D is saying, I've had that happen, fragged it up, and now he has a bunch of frags growing. He said some of them continue to SD in as baby frags. He doesn't know either. Hey, Alex, I don't know if someone's trying to have a dig at you, but how is Alex able to reach the bottom of the tank without his head being underwater?
This tank's only 24 inches deep.
Boom. I think he was trying to say you're short, Alex, but hey.
Yeah, I never claimed to be that tall. I'm no Billy Pipes.
Hey,
I think you're pretty tall too. So.
Hey, Billy Pipes told me to tell everybody that he and I are the same height.
Okay.
So I was promised a prize if I keep repeating that. So, guys, for the record, Billy Pipes and I are the same height. None of us is taller. I am not taller than him. We are the same height.
Now, what I'd be interested to see, is if you ever do get out here to Chicago, you could try to touch the bottom of my big tank.
Hey, my tank right now.
I can't reach it.
My tank right now is 21 inches, and my wife and I, my aim is to always reach into the tank without getting my sleeves wet. So for now, I can get into the bottom of it. Well, 3 foot I think is still really deep, Alex, but you know what?
It is. I won't lie. I knew that going into that one, but that's why it's bare bottom, mostly.
My stream is gone sideways. So I reach up to my shoulder. Alex, 3 inches is what? 3 feet is what?
36 inches.
Oh, Alex, I think I can get up to my armpit is 33 inches. So, you may be able to do it. As long as I have proper balance, maybe I could get my entire arm in, Well, if I catch my head up and just, tilt my head up, I think I'd be able to do it.
I apologize if you do come over. I built my walking platform to my height, so you'll have to hunch over a bit behind my tanks.
I'm messing with you, AL. I know you weren't trying to say he was short. It's all right, though. It is all good. And look, yeah. I am glad I got my phosphate issues under control. I've started to run my refugium 24/7. I upgraded my skimmer. I now have a Royal exclusive skimmer. What's the one other thing? I am carbon dosing. I was carbon dosing to bring my you know what? I was carbon dosing to bring my nutrients down. When I was at the aquatic experience, Dr. Tibbs gave me, let me see if I can find it. Now I finally kind of understand a lot about these bacterias that people are pitching, right? At least I think I do. So Dr. Timms gave me something called the waste away bacteria, Alex. And the way you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry, just
Yeah.
moving my.
No, it's all right. The way he explained it to me is, when you carbon dose, you're basically using whether it's vinegar, vodka, Nopox, sugar, whatever you're using. You're basically, or biopellets, you're basically creating food source for a bacteria, allowing that bacteria to multiply, consume nitrates and phosphates, then you skim it out. By using the waste away gel, you're sort of bypassing the carbon part of the entire chain, adding the bacteria directly. So that reduces the risk of cyano, because instead of you adding the carbon source, which then cyano can feed off, that's why a lot of us, when we're carbon dosing, we get that cyano outbreak. You just add the bacteria directly, which then just consumes nitrates and phosphates. So I don't think I don't know, maybe because I wasn't paying attention or didn't care, but I've never actually heard it explained like that before. And Dr. Timms is the one that took time out. So I'm actually gonna, even if I wasn't, well, I don't need to carbon dose anymore, but I think I'm gonna try this waste away time release gel. You basically add it and it changes color and it lasts 30 days.
And so the old school denitrifying filters that I used to make, and I haven't had a need here because my nitrates aren't high enough. But the old school ones, you take airline tubing and you go buy 100 feet of airline tubing, and you just run like a drip per second through it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I used to take glucose tablets for diabetics and crush them up and turn them into a solution and inject that into that. And that was the point, is to give those anaerobic bacteria food.
And you know what? Zeovit is also the same thing. Zeovit is carbon dosing, where you add one bacteria, but then you add food for the bacteria to keep it alive. And that's so. And then what you're doing with the zeolite rocks is, the zeolite rocks, I guess somehow they've realized that the rocks, the zeolite rocks, the bacteria will colonize it because it's a certain material. So that's what you do by doing the zeolite rocks, is it has a place for that bacteria to colonize. The two zeovit stuff, zeostart and zeofood, that's the bacteria and food for the bacteria. And then when you pump the reactor, you're just sloughing off whatever it is that then you're waiting for the skimmer to pick up. So it's interesting. It's just something I felt like I should have known that. But I just that conversation with Dr. Tim, I was like, oh, I know. That's so.
Yeah, and I've never used more of that style reactor before. I've always, like you said, if I get the issue in this tank, I'm just going to build I'm not going to use an airline tubing method, but I'm just going to make an anaerobic bacteria, or a place where anaerobic bacteria can live. That it's not something that everybody has in the amount that's necessary to denitrify.
Yeah. I don't know how, if I'm going to commit to this, I think I'm going to commit for maybe a few months, maybe 5 or 6 months. And I think it's kind of expensive, to be honest. But like I said, I think they have the waste away. Fritz has the Fritz 460. In fact, at Aquashella, hang on one sec. I didn't even realize there is a monster 460. Fritz has, I guess, this is a stronger concentration than the other bacteria. So, you know what? I need to ask Fritz if it's okay to put their bacteria on a dosing pump. I never asked that question because it might be cheaper than using. I'm gonna test them all, and then I'll evaluate them all together based on pricing. Because I don't know. I think if one is slightly, if the pricing is even within range of each other, and I can just have one tablet that I hang somewhere in the sump and just replace it once every 60 days, once every 30 days, for me, that might be worth, rather than another dosing pump head and another, for me, I like the convenience factor better than another dosing pump. Like ever since my controller crash, I'm not anti-technology, but I'm just becoming.
Well, you know what though? It's a good thing to have some diversity in your system, so you don't have one single point of failure.
It is. It is. All right, guys. It is 11 o'clock. It's been a wonderful night. We've been streaming for what, 2 hours? Let me just make sure. But I am going to shut it down early tonight. It was a long day. Yeah, we've been streaming for 2 hours. That's not bad. That is not bad. That is still a good night. So thank you, Alex. Thank you for showing us your beautiful tank.
Thanks for having me on.
AL, thank you for staying till the end. Reefing with us. Oh, that's me. Just the bubble tip. Tyler D. Exclusive Reef. Reef Keeper. Reef Dudes. iReef. K-Town Reefer. Carlos, I know Carlos 23 was in earlier. All the people that were in earlier. Thank you very much. Reef Keeper is still here. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Thursday nights are fun. Talking reef with you guys. And again, I think I'm gonna just try not to do topics because I think just hanging out talking reef is cool. And then what I might do is maybe later just put out like a highlights video. I got to get into a cadence of videos, man, because sometimes life gets in the way and it's just, you end up don't do a video this weekend. Before I know it, man, it's been like 3 months since I've made a video. Yikes. So
Don't feel bad. Oh, I get in the same rut sometimes.
Oh man, listen, I use Final Cut Pro. I use a Mac, and I think the last time I checked, I'm trying to open it now, but I'm literally gonna be scared. Like I have 22 project videos that I'm working on, Alex, that I haven't done. So I have, oh my gosh, I've shot videos on setting up the bubble tip tank, a review for Ultra Reef Reactor, a Triton Method video, when we visited Reefco in New Jersey, when I did a review of the Pax Bellum, when I was in Memphis and visited some LFS, my Macna video, a fish food, aquatic experience, UV sterilizer to my Nano, hanging a AI Prime, upgrading the lights to my Nano. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I know.
I don't have that many. I got a few that some of them I just kind of abandoned after a while.
Yeah, I think some of them at this point need abandoning. Like this Triton Method video, like this is getting abandoned. The Macna video, I don't want to abandon that. The June Reef update that was never released, I think I can abandon that one. You know what I'm going to do, Alex? I am literally going to, instead of doing fancy voiceover, I am literally going to play the video and just talk about what's on the video and then go from there. Like these videos, don't be surprised if you guys wake up like one day and you get like 10 notifications. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hey, thank you, Alex.
Thanks, so.
All right. Hang on a second, Alex. All right, everyone. Good night. Shutting down the stream now. Thanks, guys.